decided to add some multitasking videos. I'm zesting a lemon right now. I'm prepping, which is a lot like building an ADU actually. There's a lot of prep, and that's another video. One of the videos I can put out this week because there wasn't a whole lot happening in the last few days aside from the chaos in my backyard. It's been quiet today. One of the videos I shot probably in April, I think. Mike came down from Morro Bay, and we did a walk around the neighborhood. Well, we did walk around the neighborhood with the dog, but we did a walk around the backyard and drew some boundaries and looked at the blueprints, and he just kind of got a lay of the land because he hadn't yet, and it was, you know, getting close to time. We thought that was in April, and the plans were just approved in June 14th. While he's walking around the backyard, he looks up in the sky and he's like, "Why are there power lines over your property?" And I was like, "Huh?" And long story short, I actually have an easement in my backyard, a utility easement, which essentially means that Southern California Edison, which is my electrical utility, for some reason, we don't know if the power lines went up first and then my property line was extended 10 feet, or if my property was there and they just took the 10 feet in the back of my yard for themselves. It's really odd. It's odd to have an easement on your property. So it's technically not my property. It's technically belongs to Southern California Edison. So we had to have an oh shit moment there and try to figure out what to do, because he's like, "You can't build on the easement. You can't build under these wires." So at the end of the video, I'll share how that was resolved with the city and with Edison. Yeah, I'll give you the update at the end. Okay, and I'm gonna keep making lunch. So when I was a kid, we lived in San Carlos, California, in Northern California. And between our house and the next door neighbor's house, there was an easement. It was probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet wide. And we used to have so much fun running up and down there playing hide and seek and playing games. And it was kind of mysterious because we lived on a hill and it went downhill. And so we'd go down there and hide. And the easement, I remember as a kid being a fun thing. And that is not what the current easement is on my property here in Long Beach, California. It's not fun. Why is this a bad thing? Well, as you can see, Ashton's showing the 10 feet that the utility company has basically eaten up on my property. That 10 feet that she's showing is an easement. Why would they put a pole on my neighbor's property and run those wires over my backyard? I have no idea. But thankfully, Mike caught this, and we had to talk about it when he was here last weekend. As you can see, looking up, there's the pole, and there are the wires 10 feet in on my property line. So you cannot build under those wires because that easement technically belongs to the utility companies. So what do we do about this dumb easement that is no fun, zero fun? So the idea that Mike had is, instead of a 5-foot setback, and a 5-foot setback is the rule, if you're making one of these buildings in your backyard, you need to have 5 feet from the edge of the property to the building. So we have a 10-foot setback that's technically an easement. We want to make this easement the setback. So we don't want to do 10 feet plus another 5 feet setback. So I'm going to ask the city when I go in for the plan check if this easement can be our setback.
It's floss.
Okay.
What is it?
Floss.
Oh, floss, right.
So enough with the boring talk about the easement. Let's get to the fun part, which is the layout of the ADU or the apartment. Ashton will demonstrate. So entering from one of the glass doors right into the living room, she's going to come in. And now in the living room, you can watch TV. That's her clicking the remote. Walk a little farther back, and you're at the kitchen counter. There will be a sink there as well. Walking around the counter, is the stove and the refrigerator. And then from the kitchen, you can walk in through this door into the bathroom, where she's going to do a really good job of washing her hands in the sink. And there's the shower. From the shower, when you're done, you can walk out and come through another door into the bedroom, right there to your left. There you go. Good. Now we're in the bedroom. And then there's another sliding glass door that opens onto a patio so you can enjoy the outdoors. And that's basically it. The short answer for what happened or where we are right now with the easement is I called Southern California Edison. I got a hold of somebody who's a field inspection person. I said, do we need more setback from your easement, or can we build right on the border of your easement? She said you can build right on the border easement. So that's good. So we lost 10 feet of my yard to Southern California Edison, but at least we didn't lose 15 feet, because that would have really started to encroach upon some of the personal space of the big house, the house that I'm in right now. So then I went to the city of Long Beach and I said, here's the situation. I have an easement in my backyard. And they said, really, that belongs to Southern California Edison. So whatever Edison says is what you go by. Kind of a bummer, because 10 feet is a lot. Edison has never, ever in 20 years been on my property using that easement. So let's hope they don't have to come use it again. So that's the end of the easement story. I hope. Let's hope so.